You're listening to Rev It Up, a 5-part procurement podcast series powered by Jagger, where this time what happened in Vegas won't actually stay there. Hi there, I'm Philip Eidson, and over the next 5 15-minute podcasts, I'll sit down with some of the stars from REV2018 to dig deeper into the biggest issues facing procurement and the skills you're going to need to accelerate your career and prepare for tomorrow. From AI to benchmarking, from balancing risk with competitiveness, to the leadership lessons that have got CPOs to the top, we'll chat about all the things that will make a real difference for your career. In today's podcast, I'm joined by Reghimi, Product Manager for Digital Transformation and Category Management at Jagger. And in our conversation, Amen and I chat about digital transformation as it applies to procurement. We seek to separate the hype from the reality and explore some of the considerations that should be taken into account when developing a digital strategy for procurement. And I start by asking Amen if he could actually help demystify the term digital transformation.
Digital transformation today is the buzzword on everyone's lips these days, and it is generally associated to words like blockchain, IoT, Internet of Things, AI, artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data. So yes, you're right. There are lots of buzzwords around this, but digital transformation is about having a clear vision, a strategic plan of change, and targets. So it is designing new ways of doing things that will generate new sources of value.
Yeah.
That, in other words, it is more closely related to effectiveness. So it's for all the company and not just for a specific process or function.
Mm-hmm.
For example, digital does not refer to the creation of a new website or building a mobile application or having social accounts or even using technology. It is not only that. Let's take an example. Imagine a team who will work for you by providing recommendation on your sourcing events, which contract is to be negotiated, or which action has to be taken, or which campaigns are to be launched, or better, what are the results of campaigns launched for me. So this is what virtual assistants can do today. This is the power of artificial intelligence driven by digital transformation.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it like this. Since the Industrial Revolution, humans have created tools to augment human capability. Sure, you can get across Europe in a horse-drawn carriage, but an airplane is a tool that gets you there much faster.
Right.
So AI is just another tool of digital transformation that's here to help us and our customers to go faster. Digital transformation will simplify and sometimes reinvent the procurement processes to focus on the most important tasks in real time and adapt the changes on the fly.
Mm-hmm.
Digital transformation, to sum up, it will reimagine the business decisions taken by the users with instant insights from anywhere.
Mm-hmm. We know that a lot of technologies has existed for a long time, but it's not necessarily been used or levered. So is there a burning platform, or has there been a tipping point in the development of the technology that suggests that now is kind of the better time than ever before to really start investing in figuring out how you can take advantage of digitization?
Yes, why now? Now, because, for example, artificial intelligence is already transforming our customers' expectations. Think of the consumer who lives by Uber, Google, and Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
Think when you see that photo that's automatically identified and tagged in your social media feed. You are experiencing already the power of artificial intelligence. And according to this, what was in evolution a few years ago, it is becoming a pain as the consumers are having better experiences in the day life. This is the first part. The second part is the cost of data processing has become more affordable thanks to all the new technologies, and AI has already significantly improved consumer apps. So now customers are expecting companies to provide the same improvements across all their experiences. Imagine it's the year 2020, where procurement has evolved so much, you will look around, take it all in and think, oh, I wish I had been better prepared.
Right.
And my aim with you to say why now is that all procurement organizations will be prepared for that. Many futurists say the future is now. So today we are going to an AI revolution, and I think it is time to start the digital transformation journey.
What's the business case, for a procurement professional that's listening and thinks, yes, this is something that I really want to start exploring, perhaps investing in? How do you see organizations make the business case for an investment in digitization?
So procurement is simple. If you spend $1, you need to ensure that you get more than that back in terms of value. And there are a lot of good ideas around digital transformation, but translating a good idea into a successful finished one is very hard. And when an organization is lacking a digital transformation strategy, this can lead to failure. So my main question will be for procurement professionals who are listening to us. They should ask this question: how to bring more value for my business context? And when we go more in details in discussions with procurement teams, you will figure out that everyone wants to predict what's next. Predict what is the spend forecast, how many time is needed to onboard a new supplier, how many time is needed to reduce the strategic panel, and so on. So at the end of the day, everyone wants to bring intelligence to the business application.
Yeah.
And let's take three technologies in the basis for the digital transformation and give use cases for each one. And let's focus on procurement. For example, the first, also it's a buzzword, it's AI. When we say digital transformation today, we usually link it to AI, AI for artificial intelligence. So some use cases that AI will allow procurement teams to take all the data coming from thousands of transactions and actions. We will apply machine learning and natural language processing and tighten all that together to automate the process. Yeah. All of this in the context of the business user. So at the moment, all the action will not be taken anymore only by the users themselves. The technology will help to offer advices, enable new analysis, support, and facilitate the user's journey by taking better decisions and producing successful results. So this is a simple, let's say, use case for applying artificial intelligence. The second technology that is one of the pillars of blockchain of digital transformation is blockchain.
Yeah.
And here, I think that blockchain can bring greater value to source-to-pay processes. For example, in the upstream, on the source-to-contract process, it could first ensure a transparency of the RFX by an optimized management of the history on the in-progress or past tenders. For contracting and contract management, this technology would verify and certify the existing of documents, history and of modifications and versions that will allow procurement and legal departments to have what we call secure contracts.
Yeah.
And there is also another term that we talk a lot about it that is called the use of smart contracts. The smart contracts would guarantee the existence and performance of certain clauses, such as the terms of services or the terms of its payment. And if we remain at procurement, at the end of the process, invoicing and payment could be optimized. So the blockchain could be, in particular, be used within the framework of the audit trail in electronic invoicing, and it will reduce the money laundering risk. If we take a third example, and one of the buzzwords that we said at the introduction is IoT, Internet of Things. And the Internet of Things is today a worldwide phenomenon that procurement professionals simply cannot ignore. Procurement and supply chain could benefit significantly from IoT-enabled devices and solutions which will manage area like monitoring and reordering of stock. And in order to take an advantage from IoT, procurement team, and this is what I think, must work to have the right processes and systems in place. Thus, they can enable IoT technologies and embed it into the buying process, which will lead to an important change in our industry. Yeah. So in this case, IoT will quick and optimal decision-making based on the market, stock, and demand. It will reduce procurement lead time, and of course, it will help to have cost reduction due to time and quantity optimization.
So I have so many questions that I know that we don't have the opportunity to really deep dive into today. That was a great kind of primer, I think, for listeners to really understand where they can be focusing, and also what are some of the use cases and business cases for investing or exploring different types of technology as part of their digital transformation journey. And I just had one last question. And this is just something it's always on my mind, especially when we talk about the pace of change. And now more than ever before, you can invest in something today and 6 months later, you can look at that and think that's obsolete. And so by doing so, it sometimes may leave people to pause on whether whether a strategy they have built is the right digital transformation strategy, or whether they should wait another 6 months or 12 months and see where technology evolves to. I just wondered if you could share some advice of how you coach and advise procurement professionals who you hear that kind of sentiment from.
Yes, good. That's a good question. I will answer 2 ways. I will start by giving you some advices, or one advice, and then sharing some recommendations. Mm-hmm. The first one for the advice is digital, and this is an important, advice. Digital transformation is not technology. It's a journey based on a strategy. Yeah. This is said, my advice here is that you, as a procurement professional, you should be aware that technology doesn't innovate. People do. Mm-hmm. Technology isn't disrupting any industry. People are. Yep. So it is important to realize what technology is doing is enabling and amplifying the potential of people. And as Steve Ballmer said once, digital disruption is a human thing. So once you understand this concept, you will know and understand better that when you are starting your digital transformation journey, you should not think only about technology, because the people who will be with you, they will lead this innovation, they will lead this transformation. And this is said, so let's highlight again that the true transformation is strategy pulled, then technology pushed. And procurement professionals, CPOs or CEOs and so on, should realize that digital will be going to be core part of their future as the nature of their suppliers, teams, stakeholders are changing. So real transformation begins with the right questions and by building the culture of transformation. Because when you will say digital transformation, we need to think about strategy. Digital transformation changes your corporate strategy. It changes your business processes. It changes your marketing capabilities. And it changes also the roles and skills to have in order to bridge the gaps between your organization and the technology you need to master. So the way that you will take will not be obsolete in few months, because we are at the beginning of this revolution. Mm-hmm. And it's time to take it. And one of the advice that I can give, that once your digital strategy is defined, you need to educate your teams and enable transformation internally by clarifying the targets to be achieved. So you should not say, I need to start digital transformation, so let's bring IoT and start and buy some IoT-enabled devices, or let's acquire, let's say, a tool or have a tool to start working on it. No, this is the wrong way to do it. I think You need to involve your employees and teams. This is important. It has to come from the top down. And if you don't have a CEO and top managers who understand the importance of digital transformation and how should this work in your context, it is not going to work. Right. It should be really for your context. This means for one company, maybe it is better to start step by step. Other companies will need to go faster. Really, it should be for your context. You should figure out how you can leverage technology to create more values and generate more revenues. Mm-hmm. And this will allow you today to be part of building the future of procurement. This means we have the procurement professionals today have the chance to not only prepare for the future, but also to influence it. And by influencing this future, you are sure that what you are taking, or if you jump in today, the technology that you will use will not become obsolete in a couple of years, because you will be part of defining this future. As Mike Walsh said, there is no doubt that you are moving to a new world, a world where business itself is going to be forced to change by new generation. There is a great opportunity for all of us to rethink the way we do business. And one of the questions, will procurement as we know it exist in the future at all? What are the future scenarios of the procurement? I think that the time to act and answer those questions is now.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Rev It Up, powered by Jagger. Check out the rest in this series and, of course, tweet myself at @PEidson or our guests with any questions and comments using the hashtag REV2018.